Hey guys, Austin Delano here at Mossy Gamekeepers, and today we're talking about warm season food plots, why we should use them, and how they can be utilized on a piece of property to help it be better for whitetail hunting. So when we start talking about warm season food plots, there's tons of info out there and there's tons of different things you can plant. One of the main reasons we plant warm season annuals during the spring and the summer is to increase the interaction, increase the nutrition on a piece of property for whitetails. We all know that coming out of the wintertime, bucks are starting to grow a new set of antlers. We've got does that are pregnant with fawns. They're going to be starting to produce milk. They're going to be nursing these fawns. They need the best nutrition possible. So on a lot of pieces of property, sometimes your food plots are going to be your highest areas of nutrition, and we want to make them as good as possible. So a lot of times we're using stuff like forage soybeans, we're using peas, grain sorghums, sunflowers. Clover is a huge part of our spring and summer food plot programs. These are all varieties that are going to provide a lot of attraction and nutrition on a piece of property so that you're giving the deer as high protein food sources as possible for producing better antlers and just better overall deer herd health. So when we're using a warm season planting on a piece of property in a food plot, let's just take for instance it's a forage soybean plot. Okay, let's say that our deer density is in good shape and the soybean plot makes a pretty good crop of actual beans. They've stayed in there all spring and summer, browsing on the forage, but it's also made a pretty good crop of beans. We know those are going to be very attractive in the later part of the season. One tactic we like to use to make sure we get as much good out of that plot as possible is to just go and overseed those standing beans with a cool season blend so that we've not only got standing beans on the stalk for the later part of the winter, but we've also got some green forage growing there for the earlier part of the season. That's one way you can kind of dual purpose a food plot that you've got in a warm season annual, because a lot of times you've made enough beans you don't want to go in there and just totally take that crop out and clean the plate, so to speak. So double cropping that area by overseeding it just before the leaves drop off the soybeans in the late summer and early fall is a great way to have beans on the stalk, but you've also got green forage growing underneath it. This is just one of the many ways you can use a warm season food plot on your property. Again, we're shooting for maximum nutrition while the deer are growing and providing the best nutrition for our whitetails as possible during the most critical growing season.